Yes, hello guys. I'm super happy to see all of you here today, and I hope that you are super excited about our today's webinar. And our team hopes that it will be extremely useful and insightful for you. So let's start our webinar. And today we are going to speak about Roland Berger first round interview. We will make simulation, and our webinar will be by our career coaches Andre Homulenko and Gaurav Bhosle. So we will start with format and rules. Then we will make a small introduction where we will tell you about our company and share with you our plans for today. Then we will start our main content part, and this will be our interactive case interview simulation. After this, you will hear feedback from our experts, Anja and Gaurav. And in the end, we will share with you some bonus materials which will help you to start your case preparation. And speaking about format and rules, our webinar is going to be about 2 hours. And our introduction will be approximately 30 minutes. Interactive interview simulation will be 60 minutes, and feedback and bonuses part approximately 30 minutes. And I also want to ask you, please mute till the end and turn off your camera during the simulation, so we will not interrupt our participants. And also, for those who will stay with us until the end, you will receive some bonus materials and special offer for the first session with our career coaches, and this will really help you to start or continue your case preparation. Yeah, and now I want to introduce you our team for today, and my name is Alina, and I will be a moderator of our today's webinar. I'm a client manager at Consulting Masters, and now I want to introduce you our client Ahmad, who will help us today and participate in our simulation. Ahmad, can you please turn on your camera and tell us about yourself?
Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well, and I'm really happy to see new faces today joining our webinar. First, I'm Ahmad Shamsuddin, and I did my bachelor's degree in finance from the American University of Beirut. And following my bachelor's degree, I did my master's in finance and accounting from Imperial College. And I'm currently looking to pursue a career in consulting.
Okay, great, thank you a lot, Ahmad. And now I want to introduce you our career coaches. First of all, I want to introduce you Gaurav. Gaurav is our expert. Gaurav, can you please introduce us yourself?
Hi, everyone. Great to be here amongst you and great to see you all. All the consulting aspirants, it evokes the memories of probably 15 years back. I wish all of you a great consulting career. About myself, I grew up in India and I'm an engineer. Worked in that technology for a few years. Also, I'm a co-founder of a couple of ventures back then. And then I did my MBA from HEC in Paris. Went on to join McKinsey in Frankfurt. And then on my consulting journey started. Worked extensively in Africa, Europe, Asia, around 30 odd countries, helping out a lot of different companies, governments, got a chance to work with some prime ministers of the countries, got a chance to work with a bank, and 10, 15 different industries, 30 odd countries across 5 continents. Then hung my boots in the consulting parlance around 2013. And since then, I'm helping people get into consulting roles, helping them doing this very important career transition in their life. Since then, I've had more than 5,000 hours of coaching experience. 500 plus of my clients, just like you, who are dreaming about consulting, are now working in consulting in various amazing organizations across around 78 different consulting offices. Yeah. So happy to be part of your preparation. I'm looking forward to work with you, help you go where you really want to go. Okay. So all the best and enjoy the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you a lot, Gaurav. And now I want to give a word to Andre, our second expert for our today's webinar. Andre, can you please tell us about yourself?
Hi, good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to our webinar. And today we're going to simulate the Roland Berger first interview round, the company I used to work for a while. Just maybe to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm born Ukrainian, and I started my career at Roland Berger Kyiv office as an intern back in 2010. I was so excited because my second mission was already to help Russia to get ready for the Winter Sochi Olympic Games and support the minister in preparing for this event. So I was so excited that as a 21-year student, I could have a privilege to be attached to the Olympic Games, which were later on shown and seen by more than 1 billion people all around the world. And I was completely amused about the opportunity to create this such an impact when I was already so young. Then as an immigrant, I came later on to Germany. Also herzlich willkommen auch an unser deutschsprachiges Publikum. And in Germany, it was very difficult for me as an immigrant without knowing properly German language to break through into consulting industry. I mean, you can imagine that cracking cases in English is might be quite challenging. You will see it today together with Ahmad. But doing that in German is like, whoa, puts it on a completely different level of challenge. And nevertheless, I was very happy to have mastered that as well. And I've spent totally more than 6 years in consulting, and have actually completed more than 30 missions all around the world, in Western Europe, in Central Europe, in Eastern Europe, in Russia, and I've also spent a couple of years back in the Middle East, out of Dubai office, before moving back to Europe 2 years ago. Yeah, and together with Gaurav, I have a true passion for helping people out in this, I would say, yeah, quite challenging and very demanding times of Corona crisis, because I know it from my own experience and Gaurav's experience as well. I mean, don't forget that we have been taken either before or during the previous financial crisis. So we know how tough it might be during the crisis periods to get a job. And we have already successfully helped more than 600 clients to get top consulting offers from all over the world, including more than 200 offers from McKinsey, Bain, and BCG, as well as 400 offers for students who are currently working with Roland Berger Strategy and Kearney, Oliver Wyman, and many other firms. Yeah, if we jump on the next page, we can basically see how we do that. We really like to follow end-to-end holistic approach and to walk together step by step with each one of you all the way around from setting up the right objectives until the moment that you get the offer. So specifically from the process side, you can imagine this in the following way. During our first sessions, we will set up the right objectives and create a comprehensive application roadmap for you, where we will define the companies, locations, positions which we are going to target, as well as networking, which either you can have in these firms or where we can share our connections in order to help you to receive your interview calls, which is becoming very critical nowadays. Because we also have quite a big range of people working in consulting, those who are our friends and former colleagues, as well as 600 other individual students whom we have already helped to get a position in the leading consulting firms across the globe. And then after while we are helping you to secure your interview invites, we also start helping you to get ready for this very intense preparation process, to practice the basics, the personal fit part, case part, behavioral questions, as well as your questions at the end of the interview. All of that will be simulated today. So you will see how the first interview round with one of Roland Berger offices might look like. And I would strongly encourage you to participate, to write your questions, to write your comments into the chat so that we can also address them during the webinar. So use this opportunity to learn and to get the very practical experience during that webinar. So we basically, together with our clients, with Ahmad Shamsuddin, with Mark, with Ali, with other people who are already present here in the room, and with you in future, we walk towards the common goal where we help you to get through the first interview round, get through the second interview round, and through the final interview round with partners, and ultimately get an offer at the end. And then getting an offer is just the beginning of the journey, because one thing is to get an offer, but the other one is to become successful in your job. As you already heard, consulting may become a very demanding profession, but nevertheless, it could be also very rewarding if you are very well prepared to that. So maybe you have heard that there is a principle in consulting called up or out. Does any one of you know what up or out means? Please raise your hand or tell it to me. Nicholas, what does up or out mean? You either get promoted or asked to to quit to the company. Yeah, you are absolutely right. So imagine the situation. You got an offer, Nicholas, from Roland Berger, and with together with other 10 students, you will basically see that in the first year, 3 candidates will most probably be asked to leave the company either after 6 or 12 months. So this means out. 5 to 6 people on average will be getting promotions to the next level, on average in 18 or 24 months, so in 1.5 to 2 years. And maybe only one person will get promoted to the next level in just 12 months. So I tell you why this is important, because I have been very privileged that after myself joining Roland Berger, I was promoted just in 5 months. And this is actually something which doesn't usually happen that much in consulting. And we have designed a special program together with Gaurav, and which helps you to get ready for those 100 days and long-term career success. And therefore, we also help our clients not only to receive that job offer from a leading consulting firm, but also to get ready to it and to fully benefit from your future upcoming career in consulting. Okay, I think that this is more than enough theory. And on the next page, I actually want to share really very great news to you. Probably you have, some of you have already seen this through our social networks. This month, we are very happy to announce that on March 7th, 7 of our former students have actually joined McKinsey, Bain, Oliver Wyman, and Roland Berger in different offices across Europe, Middle East, and Southeastern Asia. So this is the biggest achievement, and we are so proud, and we wish those students all the best. And of course, we are happy to help them moving forward. All right, I think that I have spoken more than enough, and on the next page I would like to simply give a chance to say a word to our current clients. So I would like to ask Mark, Ahmad, Ali, or whoever is in the room to turn on your cameras and speak out. How was your experience of working with us so far?
Hello, Andre. If I may have the word.
Sure.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Mark Tairuz. I'm a petroleum engineer. I did my MBA last year. So I got stuck in a country, then I came, and then I got contacted by BCG. So I started studying by myself on this website, My Consulting Coach. So I did it the hard way, so doing cases with people my level. So after that, I reached final round, and then it didn't work out. So, and I did the same with A.T. Kearney. So I felt that there is something missing. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. So that's why Omar put me in contact with Andre. And since I joined the VIP program. Since I joined, it's been maybe a month, I do feel that I have evolved a lot, especially, first of all, they put you in contact with a lot of people your level, not wasting time doing cases with lower level people, like beginners trying to enter now the consulting world. So it was super beneficial meeting all these people and working with them on a daily basis. And every week we have one-on-one session with Andre and Gaurav, and it's a continuous feedback and improvement. So every day I feel at least, I'm learning something new, and I know where are my weak points. So I'm just working on the weak points. So later, whenever I have an interview, I feel that I'm gonna do well, honestly. So when I did the first case with Andre, I was sweating and stressed and everything, but then now I do feel that I became more confident by solving the case. They will teach you some way to proceed. Like, for example, when you get stuck in a case, there is some, he gives you like a hint how to come out from where you're stuck. So it's really, I do feel that I'm benefiting a lot, and I advise everyone who's really want to go into consulting to join the program. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Mark. Does anyone else want to share his or her experience?
If nobody's there, maybe I can start.
Yeah, sure, Priya.
Hello, guys, everybody. Nice to see you all. My name is Preetham. I am also from India, and I'm currently pursuing my MBA from ESCP, and I'm working in Munich. So as Mark mentioned, even I had the similar problems. So when I connected with Andre, so he told me about how actually you can look at the case interviews, what is the structure of the case interviews, and the learnings that I got are not only to crack the interview, but also to work as a consultant, not even consultant, in the regular life as well. You can use those learnings. So with my personal experiences with sessions with Gaurav and Andre, it was really amusing to see how I can use the simple principles in any problem solving job. So and at the same time, as Mark mentioned, we are also working together to achieve the same goal, and it is kind of it's really helpful for all of us. And I will also recommend you guys to do the cases with peers, so, and with the help of Gaurav and Andre. So looking forward to the today's session. Hopefully you enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Pritam, for sharing your insights. Ahmad, do you have any good words before we start grilling?
Yes, I do have some good words about this program. I always have good words about you and Gaurav, actually. So let me just tell everyone here about the value of this program and how it's different from other programs. So basically, it's this program such as Andre highlighted, that the coaches in this program help you hand in hand so that you get your offer, and they don't leave you until you get your offer. So they are basically here to help you get anything you want and any company that you want to join. And I just want to say that the value of Andre and Gaurav is not found at any other platform. After doing some cases together, and especially with Gaurav, due to his right to the point feedback and the criticism that he always give me, and the points that he always share with me in order where to exactly improve. And this is basically the kind of coach you want to work for, because he will definitely allow you to help to improve a lot. But not only the coaches that are different in this program, but also the people that are actually in this program. We are a small team. We are a small team, and all of us are highly motivated, and we are having some great improvements, and we are there for each other so that we can all of us improve and reach our goal. So basically, every day we do some cracking outside of the sessions with the coaches, so that we can improve ourselves and to land our offers. And this is basically not available on any other platform. Thank you.
All right, Ahmad, thank you very much. I think that should be fine for now. So let's basically move on. And I would like to tell you a little bit more facts about the company. I used to work for a while in my past, about Roland Berger. So on the next page, you will basically see that Roland Berger was founded in 1967. By Mr. Professor Roland Berger, and it has over the last 50 years significantly expanded its operation. In fact, it's just the only company of European origin and among the top consulting firms, with currently presence in more than 50 offices across the world. So most lastly, they have opened also the offices, a couple of new offices in the Middle East, in Riyadh, Qatar, but also in Myanmar, in Southeastern Asia. And they're working towards opening the office in Tehran. So they keep on growing and with a very high ambition. The company has clearly become very popular for its restructuring work. In fact, when Western Germany was merged with the Eastern Germany, end of 80s, beginning of 90s, they have completely restructured all the or most of them enterprises which were in the former Eastern Germany, and that's why restructuring and reintegration of the new business has been a core of the DNA of Roland Berger. And they ultimately became very famous for that. That's why in the previous crisis with COVID, they did pretty decent job. And now they have already picked up hiring simply because this restructuring component is part of their business. And nowadays companies need a lot of restructuring projects in order to sustain on the long run. So on the next page, you will basically also see the 3 values which the company really stays for. And for me personally, entrepreneurship value was very important at Roland Berger. I can only confirm it from my personal experience, because I always was pushed beyond the limits to show my entrepreneurial drive and to act accordingly, to show initiative. So the principle was that, for example, when I was a consultant, in order to become a senior consultant, I first needed to act as a senior consultant and to prove that I could become a senior consultant. Only after that I was promoted to the next level. Or when I was a senior consultant, I already was pushed to act as a project manager, or even as a senior project manager in one of my assignments in the Middle East. Then, of course, it's all about excellence in terms of high quality of the job, which you always deliver. And last but not least, it's also about empathy. It's about real people with real characters, and you can be yourself in Roland Berger. So therefore, this is just a brief introduction about the company, especially to those if you were not aware about this. So let's now jump directly into the key part of our webinar today, which is an interactive case simulation. So what is going to happen right now? Let me maybe just explain you. So we will be simulating a very real first interview round, which will consist of introduction, personal feed part, behavioral stories, quick case questions, as well as questions from the candidate to the interviewer. So I will be playing Markus Faust, let's say Markus Faust from Dubai office of Roland Berger, and Ahmad will be playing himself. Ahmad Shamsuddin is an upcoming potential candidate for a business analyst position with Dubai office. So it will be very real. And what we will basically do, we will split this into 3 parts. So we will basically, after the personal fit and behavioral questions, we will do a quick stop in order to provide some feedback to Ahmad and answer potential questions. Then we will move on and provide the feedback after the case part. And afterwards, like all the entire, the rest of the feedback. So I would highly encourage you as participants to put your questions and put your feedback to Ahmad also into the chat, so that we can also address it during the webinar. I would also kindly request you to stay calm with your turned off microphone, so that we can have a normal situation with Ahmad and we don't need to be disturbed at that time. The only thing which I would kindly request you is, even though you know that Ahmad is doing this in front of public for the 3rd time tonight, I'm very convinced that he still deserves a big applause from your side. So therefore, could you please, I would can I ask you to turn on your cameras and give him that applause? Go, 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 Ahmad. You will make it.
Go, 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 Ahmad.
Looking forward to the session.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your support to Ahmad. And yeah, Ahmad, could you please turn on your camera and microphone? Yeah, I will be back in a few minutes as Marcus. See you then.
All right.
Hi, Ahmed. This is Marcus
Hi.
Faust speaking. How are you
Hi,
doing?
Marcus. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, good. Is it now a comfortable time for you to speak?
It's always a comfortable time to speak with you, Marcus.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay. Ahmed, can you maybe tell me a little bit more about yourself and what leads you here?
All right. Thank you first so much for having me today and giving me the opportunity to meet you here and giving me the chance to get to know you. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I did my bachelor's in finance from the American University of Beirut, which is one of the top universities in the Middle East, while managing to be on from the top 10 and 14% from the last year. After I did my my bachelor's degree in finance from the American University of Beirut, I joined Imperial College, which is one of the top universities in Europe, where I did my master's in finance and accounting, and where I have managed to be listed on the Dean's honor list and to be ranked as first-class degree. And during my time at Imperial, I was an equity research analyst for the Student Investment Fund, where we had to value stocks. Apart from the academic performance, as for the extracurricular activities, I'm a basketball player, where I'm actually part of a Riyadh club, hoops, and my former high school team, where I've led the team to won the 90% of the championships. And I'm currently here so that I can showcase my skills in consulting and join this beautiful company such as Roland Berger.
What do you mean, such as Roland Berger?
Like a great company like Roland Berger.
Okay. Are you also applying to other firms?
Of course, you always have to put some other plans in your pocket, because you don't have to put all of your risk in one bucket. So you need always to diversify and have other plans. However, Roland Berger is my top option.
Why?
Yes, of course. So basically, I want to join Roland Berger for 3 particular reasons. The first one will be the type of work. The second one will be the quality of work and what actually Roland Berger stands for. As for the type of work, Roland Berger is currently in more than 16 different industries across the globe, where they have more than 50 offices in Europe and outside Europe. And being a consultant at such a company will allow me to explore and build knowledge in many of those industries. And this is something really valuable to me, because I'm a diverse individual who values diversity, and I have traveled all around Europe and teamed up with people from different backgrounds. As for the quality of work, Roland Berger is of German origin, and it has been the only company between the European companies to have this expansion in a short period of time from 1975 and having more than 50 offices. And this tells a lot about Roland Berger quality of work, and especially in the restructuring arm, where they are really known. And this will allow me to work with the brightest people inside the company. And regarding what Roland Berger actually stands for, is basically empathy and entrepreneurial spirit. And the latter one is the one that I have valued the most, because before I have applied to Roland Berger, I've been into contact with the former senior consultant, Andre Homulenko, who told me about the entrepreneurial spirit inside Roland Berger, where they have allowed him to push his limits and think in terms of entrepreneurial spirit and push himself more. And this is actually where the kind of company that I want to work for, where the type of company that will allow me to push myself and improve myself. So due to those three particular reasons, that's why I want to join Roland Berger.
Okay, and why do you think that you are a good fit for Roland Berger?
Well, thank you for this question. So I believe that I'm a good fit for Roland Berger for three specific reasons as well. The first one will be my communication skills. The second one will be my personality. And the third one will be my quantitative and teamwork skills. As for the communication skills, I have great communication skills as I am able to transfer information and data and convey people easily. In fact, during my internship at BankMed, where my main task was to be part of the sales team, I was able to sell 30 bank products within a small time frame, 50% higher compared to my peers. As for my personality, I'm a diverse individual, as I have told you before, as I have traveled all around Europe and enjoy exploring new cultures. I'm also enthusiastic and eager to learn and continuously seeking to improve myself, to unleash my full potential and make an impact in the world we live in. As for the quantitative and teamwork skills, I believe that I have great quantitative and teamwork skills, which has been demonstrated during my university projects and in my own business. During my university projects, I always team up with people coming from different backgrounds where we enjoy splitting the tasks between us and delivering work on time. In fact, I've been ranked first among 30 students in my strategic management course in teamwork skills and case analysis. As in my own business, I was able to study, analyze, and quantify the poultry market in Lebanon and potential profits, where I was able to break within 2.5 months while handling multiple stakeholders at the same time. And for those, I believe my skills and the kind of person I am would be an asset for Roland Berger.
Okay, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
Well, I believe that I'm gonna see myself in 5 years as someone who's currently taking projects, taking a high impact project after coming from an MBA, where I will be handling multiple junior consultants at Roland Berger and helping them to achieve the project that is being handled on time.
Okay. All right. Can you actually tell me an example of a situation where you showed your entrepreneurial skills?
Of course. Let me tell you about this instance where I have identified a business opportunity that made me launch a new product and attain a 20% profit margin while the economic situation in Lebanon is disastrous. So in my previous operation in my farm, I only had sheep as my current business, as a previous business. The business model of sheep is really long-term since you have to wait until you sell your flock. So I had to think about a new product that is able to generate for me revenues on a daily basis and fits into my current expertise and capabilities. As such, I have identified the poultry market as a good potential market after analyzing the market, and I have realized that demand exceeds supply. And I have also noticed that the poultry products are not actually on the shelves of the supermarkets and contacting relevant parties, and I know that they have closed their operations because they are unable to satisfy the cost of food for their flock. As such, I have started planting the required ingredients for the food components that resulted in a slash of cost by 50% compared to the industry and achieving a profit margin of 20%.
And what was so entrepreneurial in that experience?
Identifying the business opportunity, getting into a new business line that I'm not really expert in, but I have managed to learn quickly, while also reducing the cost of this particular business compared to the industries by, for example, planting the required nutrients and components for the flock.
And what was the biggest challenge in that?
Well, the biggest challenge is that I have to actually find a new business as quickly as possible, and to be able to run it as smoothly as possible. So the biggest challenge was actually learning about new stuff that I have never been aware of in a very quick manner. So in order to deliver the best results.
Okay, and what have you learned out of that situation?
What I have learned from this situation is basically that anyone in the world can achieve whatever he wants whenever he has the will and the perseverance. And for that, since I had the will and the perseverance in my mind, I was able to achieve the results that I was thinking of.
All right, thank you very much, Ahmad. So let's stop for a moment. Imagine I'm back as Andre. So yeah, let's basically review your performance, and Gaurav, please also turn on your camera. So Ahmad, how do you think, how did it go so far?
Well, compared to the last performance, I can see that there is great improvement in my stories that I have prepared, and I felt more confident while telling those stories, while not actually being stressed about those. So I feel that the stress level has been reduced significantly, and the stories that I have prepared are also better than last time. At the same time, talking in a top-down approach and using the STAR framework as much as possible, not for only for the all stories. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Gaurav, what's your take?
So Ahmad, for sure, better than last time, but there's a lot of room to improve for sure. Yeah. So tell me about yourself. The content was okay, but again, not top down. Very linear answer. You could have started off with some headline. Yeah, it looks like you haven't yet made the headline. And unnecessarily giving away that, such as Roland Berger sentence was a disaster. Yeah, so you don't want to talk to a Roland Berger interviewer and say that there are other companies that are also interviewing, unless he asks for it. Yeah, but you give away. That was really a stupid mistake, I would say. Why Roland Berger? Why should we hire you? You have improved. The answer is no doubt about it. What would you do in 5 years? I think you tried making up something, but they did not come out very fluently. So that needs to be fixed. Entrepreneurial story. I think Andre had to ask you twice about the learnings. That learning should have come very crisply at the first place itself, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ahmad, I will also share some thoughts on top of that. I don't want to repeat what Gaurav has already said. Just very briefly, I think that you have way improved in terms of your confidence and also in terms of structuring. This is definitely could be seen through your stories and also through your answers. But I don't know. I felt myself a little bit offended with your very first sentence or answer. I'm not a go that you actually want to I don't know, to have a chat with and saying it was not natural that you said, oh, it's I always have a time to speak to you, Marcus. I felt like you are trying to date me. It was a little bit awkward moment for myself, and whenever the interviewer is feeling awkward, just in the first sentence, he starts asking himself quite stupid questions about yourself. So this is number one. Then you completely bombed the sentence which was mentioned already by Gaurav, such as Roland Berger, because it clearly shows that you don't give a shit and you simply apply across the entire board. And actually, if I were more pushy, I would ask you like, Ahmad, would you consider yourself a loyal individual? This kind of question I could have asked you after your answer, and you would probably have completely bombed it again. Yeah, and then if you're speaking about Roland Berger, I mean, you are sitting with me. So what do you mean about speaking Roland Berger, they? Who they? I'm representing Roland Berger in that interview. I am Roland Berger, consultant in that particular situation. And the better idea would basically to say, like, your company and I don't know, your firm, Roland Berger is so great, and I really want to become part of the team. I want to be part of it. So show your integrity as well in that interview, because your link didn't come across. I think that what you have said have actually was completely different to what you have felt, or at least to what I have perceived. Yeah, the communication is always two-way, and you need to make sure that your interviewer is on the same way with you. Okay, make sense?
Yes, of course.
All right, sounds good. So let's basically proceed to the next one. I will be again as Marcus back. So Ahmad, thank you very much for your answers. Yeah, would you like to do quick case exercises with me?
Of course.
Yeah. On the next page, I have one quick question to you. One company, you could take whatever company you want. For example, Coca-Cola, as an example, has seen its revenue increase 10% year on year, and its market share in the year 2 is 15%. And the overall market has decreased by 20% in year 2. So can you actually tell me what was the company's market share in the year 1?
Of course. Can I have a moment?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much, Marcus, for the time to think about this. So basically here, since this company has increase in revenues 10% year on year, and in year 2 it became 15%, and the overall market decreased by 20% in year 2. So it is fair to say that in year 1 the market share of this company was 5%.
Sorry, how much?
5%.
5%?
Yes.
How do you come up with that number?
Yes, since the revenues increased 10% from year 1 till year 2, and in year 2 their market share became 15%. And assuming that all prices are the same in this market, we can say that in year 1 the market share was actually 5%.
Sorry, I still didn't get it. So can you please elaborate to me? So like step by step.
Okay, so basically, since this company's revenues increased by 10% year on year, this means that from year 1 till year 2, the revenues increased by 10%, and they have reached 15%.
You mean 15% market share?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So, okay. So I understood. So you have deducted 15% minus 10%, and you got 5%, right?
Yes.
Ah, okay. All right. Cool. Thank you very much. Let's basically move on to the next question. I also have another question which I wanted to discuss to you. So imagine that your client, one of my former clients, was a leading Swedish manufacturer for ice cream machines, and they have actually invented a really very good ice cream machine. So, but they currently operate only in the European market, mainly in Swedish market itself. And they actually want to ask you to, can you maybe estimate the overall size of the global market for ice cream machines?
All right, of course I can do that. I just have one question before estimating the size. Would you like me to size this market in terms of dollar value or volume?
It's a good question. Yes, I would like to estimate this in terms of Swedish kronas.
All right.
Which is the currency of Sweden.
Can I have a moment to structure my thoughts?
Yes, sure.
Thank you so much, Marcus, for your patience. So in order to size the market of ice cream machines in Switzerland, in Swedish market, I mean, first, I would like to look into the population. After looking into the population, I would like to look into the people who actually eat ice cream. And then I would like to understand the frequency of eating ice cream. And after that, I would like to see the number of ice creams that could be made using a machine so that we can have a number of the machines required in order to satisfy the demand of this market. And after that, I will multiply it by the price of a particular machine. Does this sound reasonable for you?
Yeah, okay. Yes, it makes sense. Just bear in mind that we are not talking about Swedish market, but about the overall global market.
All right. Okay, so then we can think about a particular market, and then we can extrapolate into the global market. Does this sound reasonable for you?
I would rather suggest let's keep on working on the global market level.
Okay, great. So can I have, so let's start by the population.
The population is 7 billion people.
So 7 billion people is the population of this world. Do you have any data regarding who eats ice cream within those 7 billion people, or would you like me to assume that?
Can you please proceed with your assumptions?
Of course. So here I would assume that mainly all children eat ice cream, and also elderly people. Just only the people that don't eat ice cream or are negligible, who are people who have health issues such as diabetes or anything, something that they cannot eat sugar. So can we assume that 80% of the population or even more than that eats ice cream?
Yes.
Okay, so basically 80% out of 7 billion is basically 5.6 billion people eat ice cream in the world. Now, I'd like to understand the frequency of eating ice cream. We can divide the frequency of eating ice cream according to the age of the people. Since I believe that kids eat more ice cream more frequently than older people. Do you want me to assume some numbers, or do you have some data?
Yes, sure. Please assume.
All right. So here I'm going to divide the population into 4 main age categories between 0 and 20, 20 and 40, 40 to 60, and 60 to 80. I would like to assume that between 0 and 20, the individuals eat ice cream once per week. Does this sound good for you?
Okay, yeah.
And the same for the segment between the age of 20 till 40. Now for 40 till 60 and 60 till 80, I would say that they would eat 1 time per 2 weeks. Does this sound reasonable for you?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. 2 weeks. Okay. So the population, let me compute this on a weekly basis, then extrapolate on a monthly basis. So we know that 50% of the population will eat one-time ice cream per week. So basically 2.6 billion 2.6 billion people will eat ice cream once per week. So 2.6 billion ice cream are sold per week for the age categories between 0 till 40. And for 40 till 60, 50% out of those will eat half a time in 1 week. So this is basically 1.3 billion. So summing all those up, this will give us 3.9 billion ice creams are sold on a weekly basis in the world. Now, I would like to extrapolate this. We can do it on a monthly basis. Would you like me to do it on a monthly basis?
No, there is no need for that. Basically, I can just, your calculations are a little bit too high. I can give you the final number that the worldwide demand for ice cream results in 400 billion liters of ice cream consumed annually all around the world.
Liters?
Liters, yes.
Okay. Now, what I would like to understand next is actually how many machines do we need to have in order to satisfy this demand? Do you have any data on that?
This is exactly the case question.
Okay. I would assume here that each machine will actually satisfy approximately 10,000 liters per week of
How do
ice
you
cream.
know that?
It's just an assumption in terms of like usage.
It's not correct because the production capacity of one machine is 5 million liters per machine per year.
Great. So what we need to do now is actually divide 400 billion divided by 5 million, and this will actually give us 80 million machines required in order to satisfy the demand of ice cream around the world.
80 million?
Yes.
How do you come to that number?
So basically 5 times 8 is 40.
You have 40 billion and you have 5 million.
Yeah. So basically, just let me go over that really quickly in order to make sure that I did not do any math mistake. So basically 4,000 divided by 5. So it's basically 8,000 machines required. Excuse me for this mistake.
Yes, okay, 8,000 machines. Is there anything else which you need to take into account?
Of course, the price of the machine, since you have asked me about the market size in terms of dollar terms.
Okay. Anything else apart from this?
I think the price here would range approximately between $1,000 to $2,000.
No, it's not correct. The price is the price of the machine is 20 million Swedish kronor per machine. Yeah, but what else do you need to take into account?
So you told me it is on a worldwide basis, and you have told me it's in Swedish krona. So maybe we need to use a different exchange rate or different currency.
No, we are working for a Swedish client.
All right. So the Swedish client would like to understand only for the Swedish market, I believe. Is that correct?
No. The case question was to assess the worldwide market size for the market of ice cream machines in Swedish kronas.
So basically, I would like to understand next is actually how much our client market share he can expect from this business, so that we can see actually is going to be a good
It's
option.
not a relevant question at the moment. What else is important? Which other factors are important to consider when we're talking about the overall market size for ice cream machines on the global basis?
Can I have a moment to think about it?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you for your patience, Marcus. So basically, we need to take into consideration as well the distribution channels used in order to sell the machines for our Swedish client.
How does that influence the overall market size?
Well, basically, since you have computed, okay, I got your point. So basically, we need to think as well about the attractiveness, like in terms of who can actually buy this particular product. So we can actually segment this into income levels.
I think we have already done that with when we were calculating the size of the ice cream market.
Okay.
But what is relevant if we are speaking about the machines? So, which factors can influence these the market size? What are the factors?
Okay. So basically, the average life of this machine, of this machine needs to be taken into consideration.
Okay,
to
this
see
is number one.
How many years we are selling a machine.
Okay.
The second one would be where the sales are actually concentrated around the world, because the world is divided into developed and underdeveloped countries. So maybe the huge portion of the sales will be in the developed part of this world.
What else?
The third option here would be different pricing methods for each particular country.
It doesn't matter that now. Anything else apart from financials?
Yes, of course. So we have since our client wants to distribute around the world, we want to consider where the factories will need to be located in order to distribute all around the world, and see where we need to be located in order to satisfy the demand of all the clients, and as well compare the product that we have at hand to the other products available in the market.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so based on the information which you have requested, I can share you that the lifespan of every machine is about 15 years.
Okay. So basically, we need to divide 8,000 by 15, and that would give us 530 machines sold each year. Is it fair to assume that?
Okay. Yeah. Can you? The CEO of the company is coming soon, so maybe you can give him the final recommendation on that.
Of course. Can I have a moment?
Yes, please. So, Ahmad. Yeah. What's the situation?
Yeah, thank you so much, Marcus, for your patience. So I would like to tell the client that each year we have 530 machines that are sold around the world. However, we need to think other factors into consideration in order to solidify the recommendation for our clients, such as we need to understand the expected market share that our client might have whenever he enters this market, but also think about the supply chain to see where he should where he should operate his factories, and also think about the different pricing strategies by comparing their products to the competitor products, and we can actually help him with that. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, thank you very much. Basically, I think I'm good for now with the questions. Ahmed, do you have any questions before we leave?
Yes, of course. I have a particular question that I wanted to ask to you. I would like to ask you if you can tell me about the high impact project that you have done, and what was and how it has impacted you on personally.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much for this question. Let me maybe just reflect. I think I have done quite a few impactful projects, but I would just give you an example about my second project I've ever done. I was 21 years old. I was a fresh intern in Kiev office of Roland Berger, and my client was actually Russian Ministry for preparation to the Winter Sochi Olympic Games, 2014, and this was back in 2010, and we faced massive challenges over there because we needed to host the event, we needed to plan it, and planning in Russia is something which is not comparable things. The type of work, there was so huge challenge which we needed to master, because it was like creating everything, perfect conditions to host the biggest worldwide event in the shortest time frame. We only had 4 years to run, to plan and to deliver that project. So the time was running against us, and this project has pushed me beyond my own limits. We worked like hell in order to deliver the project plan to the ministry on time. We negotiated a lot with the stakeholders, and even I was contradicting and managing a couple of clients as an intern, and I was so amused after the project was over that 4 years later on, it has been a total success, and more than 1 billion visitors and participants and people have seen the results of our work worldwide. And the project was very impactful, of course, for the client itself, but it has also lasted a major impact in my life, because after that project, I decided that consulting is a true passion for me. It's not only a job, but it's my profession.
That sounds really interesting, actually, Marcus. It's really nice to take part of high-impact projects. And if you allow me to ask my second question following your answer, may I?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. So after you have talked about this high-impact projects, I just wanted to ask you, like, what do you value the most about being a consultant? Like, what do you like the most to be a consultant?
I would say it's variety and a steep learning curve while being part of a great team. So it's a combination of two factors, actually. So that it's never getting bored, even if the assignment is not good. I know that it's only not good for the next 1 to 3 months, and afterwards I will be sent out to completely different mission. And what is keeping stable is that spirit in the teamwork. Every 3 months I need to work in the new team, and I need to learn new people, but I know that I can rely on people. I know that I can rely on my colleagues, and that I'm working every day with the most brightest individuals in their age. Ahmad, thank you very much for that interesting interview. I hope you enjoyed it, and our HR will get back to you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back. So, Ahmad, how do you think, how did the second part of the interview go? What have you done good specifically?
What I have done specifically good is the structure with my market sizing question. However, in terms of numbering, I messed up the math amazingly. So it was a complete disaster in the math. So there's no much things to be mentioned as a positive things, and specifically the first question was what was a complete disaster. Like I did not know how to solve it, unfortunately, and then I had the idea how to solve it, but I did not do it. So I have completely failed this simulation. However, it's not the real interview, so that's okay.
Okay, what would you like to improve moving forward? What are your learnings from today?
The learning from today is actually how to manage if I'm stuck at a certain point, how to get back to my original ideas, and how to manage myself when I don't have enough ideas to tell the interviewer about it.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Gaurav, is there anything to add from your side? Gaurav, could you please unmute yourself so that we can also hear you?
Oh boy, I was purposely not unmuting. So, nothing particular. I think both the problems, I think he couldn't actually solve properly, for sure. In the first one, I think you should have put in a little bit of more effort to put together at least an equation. One, and secondly, on the second one, I felt that. See, I think market sizing questions can be complex, can be simple. Yeah, you kept on asking one question, and either you got the answer or you did not. So it was very, very transactional. So you should have at least followed the process of doing the market sizing. That is what I feel. Yeah, that could have been better. Apart from, of course, missing the logic. Missing the logic is just a matter of I mean, just now you didn't get it basically.
Okay, gentlemen, now I would like to make this part a little bit more interactive. So can we just jump back to the first case question on the previous page? So I'm really interested to know who has which idea how to solve it. So who has an idea? Please turn on your camera and speak what is the right answer and what is the right logic to that case question.
Hi, Andre, I want to speak.
Yes, Sachin, hi. Tell me.
Hi. Yeah, so the way, I mean, yes, the numbers are quite complicated. So I would have simply put a formula for it. So revenue is market multiplied by market share. Okay, so let's name it M1, MS1, M2, MS2. Okay, just write down the formula that M2 multiplied by MS2 is equal to 1.1 times M1 and MS1. Okay, and just put the numbers and solve. So the numbers which I came up with is nearly 13.3%.
Okay, any different opinion on that? I saw there was Ellie here in the chat, or Mark, yeah, or any other gentlemen or ladies. So any different opinions?
Hello, Andre, can you hear me?
Hi, Omar. Yes, please.
Yes. So how I thought about this would be that the market share in year one is actually the revenues of the company divided by the market size in year one, right? So what we do have now is that in year two, 1.1 multiplied by the revenues of year one, since the revenues are increasing by 10%, would be equal to 0.15, which is the market share of the company in year two, multiplied by 0.8 multiplied by the market size in year one. So basically 0.8 by the market size in year one is the market size in year two. So getting just adjusting the equation, would have the revenues of year one divided by the market size in year one equal to 0.15 times 0.8 divided by 1.1, which is around 11%.
Okay. Any further doubts from anyone else? Yeah, so if we basically jump on the page number 17, you will see exactly the correct logic. And my congratulations, Omar, as well as I also saw Ali Abizaed. Both of you guys have come up with the right idea. So if we simply do that, pretty simple, we have 2019, let's say 100% of the company revenue. Then 2020, the revenue increased by 10%. It became 110%. Then the market size in 2019 was 100%. Then it has been decreasing by 20% in the next year. So it became 80%. And then what do we need to figure out is what was the market share in 2019? If we know that the market share in 2020 is 15%. In order not to do that so complicated, you can simply multiply 0.8, which is 80%, with 15%. So market size in 2020, multiply with market share in 2020, and divide it through the company revenue in 2020. With 1.1, then you will get 10.9, or roughly 11%. So this is basically it. Omar and Ellie, my congratulations on the right logic about that. Yeah. If that's fine, let's basically move to the next case question. So what was missing here in terms of factors? Which I was asking Ahmad for a multiple time to take into consideration. So he came up with price, he came up with lifespan of the product. What else was missing? Any ideas? Alok? Or anyone else?
End of life of a machine.
Okay, yes, maybe. Anything else?
Scrap value of the machine.
Okay, maybe. Anything else?
The usage of machine, I mean the segmentation of the use, industrial use or a retail use. I mean he could have talked more on the what kind of a ice cream we use. It's a family pack or an individual consumption. So consumption pattern he could have thought even before starting.
Thank you, Sachin. Anything else?
I think we should have mentioned maybe the two sections: new machines to be bought and replacement machines to be replaced. And he can use the lifespan of each machine, and he can get specific figures.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Anything else a part of it? That was again a good guess from Ellie. And if we move on the next page, growth of the ice cream machine. So actually, I was looking for two additional factors which influence directly the size of the market, which is annual market growth rate for ice cream or of ice cream machines. This was the information which you, Ahmed, could have asked me about. This was 7% year on year. And then also the utilization rate of every machine, which means that every machine on average is utilized only by 64%, which means that you need way more machines than actually the demand. So if we move on the next page, and I will show you the calculations that you basically you have done an error when you were calculating the number of machines. You came up with 80 million, I think, for the first time. That's why I gave you a second chance. The right number was 8,000 machines. Then if you include 7% growth rate, you get with a number of 8,560 machines. Then if you divide this with the utilization rate of 64%, you will get 13,375 machines. And then you also have divide this with the split of the lifespan, you get 892 machines, and then you need to multiply this with the machine price, and that's how you come to roughly 18 billion Swedish kronas of the overall market size. And then, last but not least, after you came up with the number, please don't forget to do the sanity check, to look at comparable industries and turnover of major suppliers for data in order to validate whether this makes sense or not. Yeah. So this is about the second case question. And I also wanted to provide you feedback that your questions at the very end of the interview were pretty good. So you left quite a good impression, at least at the very end of the interview. Yeah, I think that this was pretty stressful exercise for you tonight. And I really admired the way how you was able to handle the pressure. So I think that Ahmad has deserved another applause tonight. So let us all basically cheer him up. Ahmad, again, one more time, my congratulations. You bombed the first interview round at Roland Berger, and this has never actually happened because your interview with Roland Berger is coming up very soon, and we will help you to deliver it in a way better manner. But well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Lina, I would like to give the word to you.
Yeah, thank you a lot, Andre. Okay, yeah, so we just want to tell you that for all the participants of our today's webinar, that you have an amazing opportunity to book the first session with Andre and Gaurav and take a huge discount. And you can use this promo code StopMasters and book the session, and this will help you to understand how you can work with us and see it in the real life. So I will send you the link to book a call with me in my calendar where we can discuss your current situation, and there you can use this promo code and then in the future book the first session with Andre and Gaurav. Yeah, and about next steps, first of all, we want to ask you, please fill out the form webinar satisfaction survey. I will just send it right now in the chat. So we will give you a couple of minutes. Please share your opinion with us, and probably you have some ideas how we can improve our webinars, and probably some ideas what you would like to see on our next webinar, which is going to be next Wednesday. It will be extremely useful for us. So yeah, just take your time and fill out the form. Okay, great. And all the participants who stayed with us until the end will receive following goodies. So it will be a brief presentation of our today's webinar, and also it will be a video recording of the webinar. And also, you can book a free consultation with me. I already sent the link for my calendar. There we can discuss your current situation, your objectives, your challenges, and see how we can help you. We want to invite you to our free webinars this March. We have 2 more webinars. First of all, it will be next Wednesday, 17th of March. It will be currently first round interview simulation from 5 till 7 Central European time. And next one will be on next Wednesday, 24th of March. It will be Oliver Wyman first round interview simulation. As well from 5 till 7 Central European time. And I already shared the link where you can also register for this webinars if you haven't done it before. And also on the next page, you can see our contact details where you can follow us on our social medias and also check our website. There we share all our news about the webinars and also have lots of interesting and useful information there, which you can use as well for the preparation and for your application process. And now I want to say thank you a lot for your participation, that you were really very active, and I want to congratulate Ahmad as well for his performance. And I want to wish you a good day today, and have a rest, and good luck.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. See you soon, and take care. Bye-bye.